very beautiful morning to you all across the globe. Here is your show, The New Deal, a creation of the Obidient TV. This is a platform where discussions about a better Nigeria and what I call better citizens of the nation to at the first. And on a day such as this, we have the honor of playing host to one of the most vocal voices, or let me say individuals, that this movement is proud of, that this movement can boast of. And what a time to be here to really do this with this great woman. But I don't do this show alone. My name is Waju Akin-Emmanuels for those who are just listening for the first time. But I've got the honor of doing these with the beautiful, the very, very sagacious Stephanie Odia. Steph, how are you doing today, baby?
Very well, thank you. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Waju. I trust that we're all doing well today. It's another beautiful day to be in the country. And as we know, on the lips of everyone is the countdown to the big day. I'm anticipating, everyone else is anticipating, more so the reason why we're here.
I'm sure Nigerians cannot wait to go to the polls and elect their own president, maybe for the very first time in the history of this nation. And on a day such as this, we are playing those two. A lady, I will just mention her name very quickly so that you all can get to enjoy and savor the beautiful submissions from this great woman. I'm talking about Maureen Kabrik. We know her as Baryat on social media. She's on the show this morning, and I say good morning to you, madam. How are you today?
Good morning, Waju. How are you? Nice to be here.
Let me just, get this straight over to my partner, who I'm sure she's ready to serve you the first salvo on today's show.
Okay, great. Shoot.
Good morning, ma'am.
You take over.
Hi, good morning.
Good to meet you, yes. Or good to meet you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes. Without further ado, we're discussing power of the people today on the New Deal. And we know that, as a matter of fact, that's a couple of days, the coming weekend is the very big day that we've been anticipating. I mean, a couple of years has lingered to what's coming to us, the coming weekend. So let's talk about Nigerians here. Now, let's talk about everything. It's been unfolding. I mean, it's been one thing after another in the country. We've seen videos of you, on TV, on social media. Now, Nigerians and the power they possess, come February 25th. What do you make out of this? What are we to do with this? I mean, the energy has been really different. The energy has been contagious. It's been infectious. Everyone is clamoring for Peter Obi, where we know there are other show players. So how do you go on with Nigerians and the power they have and what's to come ahead of us on February 25th?
Without a doubt, the power of the people will show itself and it will speak loudly on February 25th. I've been telling people that, and I am not in doubt in whatever way that on February 25th, the giant of Africa will finally wake up. Even before the 25th of February, the giant of Africa had woken up since last year. A lot of people didn't take note, but for some of us, the signs were there. We knew that there will come a time where a movement, we didn't know what kind of movement it would be, but for a lot of us who have been on the streets, we knew that someday a powerful movement will be birthed. And that movement is what will usher in a new Nigeria. I remember when we campaigned for Dr. Obi Ezekwesili in 2019, for everywhere we went to, we felt the pulse of the people. They wanted something new. They wanted something new. They wanted, they were looking for a way to synergize as a people and flush out, the bad leadership, the bad leaders that we have had, or let me say rulers, because they've never been leaders. They're two different things. The bad rulers we have had for over the years. So we knew that, for Nigeria to really, be out there and be counted amongst those committee of nations that are finally getting it right, a movement has to be birthed. And lo and behold, sometime last year, even before Peter Obi stepped out, and left the PDP to the Labour Party, there was a movement that was being run by the youth, a movement of, a number of people who were already out on the streets and making certain demands. And it only took a Peter Obi stepping out and going to a Labour Party for this movement that had already been birthed long before him coming to the scene, now backing him up with everything they have, their resources, their time, their energies. Even before Peter was picked as the Labour Party candidate, remember, citizens had gone to the streets demanding from PDP, the opposition party, that give us Peter, give us Peter. A movement had already been birthed, but they missed it. They missed the signs. But we must be grateful also that they didn't take Peter on the PDP ticket, because the structures of criminality that he keeps talking about, that would have been a structure of criminality that would have birthed a PO. So we are glad he moved away completely from that structure, and he now is on a different platform where the people will speak loudly, and the people are ready. 25th February, the world will be shocked with the turnout of people at the polling units all across Nigeria.
That brings me to, just before I let Waju take on, that brings me to my second question. There's been so many said out there, like, well, we know this is something that was championed or pioneered by the young people of Nigeria with the eagerness to see a new government. But we've had words like, we are not ready. The young people of this country are not ready yet. And they say, oh, there's no structure. I mean, we're familiar with the statement, there's no structure on ground, meaning that the young people cannot deliver 6 million votes from the north or 60 million votes from Lagos, as the numbers may be. So that brings us to the question, what do we have, or what do we say, in retaliation or to counter that statement? How can we show that we are prepared?
It's a statement they have always used, to act, sometimes you tell lies over and over again and hoping that, it sticks and becomes the truth someday. Yes, for a very long time, this political, this very, ineffective political class, has sold us so many lies that we started doubting our own selves. We started doubting our abilities to do things. It's like a child that has just been born. They go through certain stages. They crawl, then they walk. The parents never tell the child, oh no, you can't walk. Oh no, you can't stand. Oh no, they allow you, go through the process, but they have sold us these lies. At what age did most of them, get into the political space? At what age were most of them already in government? Did anybody tell them, that, the minute they get into there and they see that, because Nigerians don't make demands. There are two sides to governance, demand and supply. So the minute they see that there is no demand coming in, they decided that, okay, we have to find phrases to keep these people away from coming into this space that is now serving their selfish interests. So they've sold these lies over and over again. What are the structures? The structures are the people you go to campaign to. But because young people have stayed away from the political scene, this political class that has had nothing to offer to the people, invaded the entire space and had so many lies that they kept dishing out to the people. Let me ask you now, what experience do you have in the politics for you to have been playing the role that you're playing now? All it takes is for you to just say you can. And the minute you say you can, you're unstoppable. You begin to find ways to make things happen. People just, should not be in a space of being, in this defeatist mindset where we have been told that we cannot. But now we're daring. Now we're saying we're going to push to the very end. And look at what it has been. You don't have to go to school. Yeah, there are certain things you can go learn about politics. But in the end, you can see all it takes is the people's choice. Once the people make up their minds and they go out there, they vote for their choice. So do not let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. The person saying you cannot do it is because they themselves don't want you in that space. They need you away from that space. And when you continue to stay away from the space, you favor them. Look at the enormous progress. Look at what we have been able to win in this political space. Today, the stories of structure has changed. Today, the stories of, oh, no, you don't have the resources has changed. Oh, no, today, the story of saying, you guys, do you know what politics is all about? Now, what do you say for yourself that politics is all about? It's about the people giving their all to someone and backing someone and actually, putting their money where their mouth is. And that's what it has been. We're walking the talk. We're not just talking and sitting in first before they said, oh, we're all just on Twitter and tweeting.
Social media.
But like I was interviewed day before yesterday and I told him, because he said he tried to repeat the same thing. And I said, look, the people from the streets are the people in the social media. So when you say, oh, we're just tweeting, but we live on the streets. Is your house not on a street right now? Is your house not located on a street? I said, we are the streets. So all that happens on social media is people from the streets congregating either on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram, where we have formed a community to allow us to engage effectively, because I can't go on doors and be knocking, oh yeah, come out, let's sit down and have this conversation. So these platforms have been provided for us, the people on the streets, to converge and have meaningful conversation. And the very minute we decided on that same platform that we were going to go into this, if we die, we die. If we leave, we leave. But we are not going to be told any longer that we cannot do it. At what age then would we be told that we can do it? After all, look at you, you're all young here. Look at what you've been able to, you're communicating with me now by what? By technology. How many of those old folks who are seeking for your vote and my votes today can sit down and effectively put things like this together? The world has gone beyond their mindset. The world has gone beyond where they are thinking right now. The world has gone beyond the capacity of what they keep touting that they have to offer. Simple questions they cannot answer because they don't live in the world that is today in Nigeria. They tell you the young people are 65%. So you're telling me 65% of young Nigerians cannot make a change? They cannot come together and organize themselves and become an undefeated army. That's what the young people have done. And this is what is sending jitters down their spine. Oh, wow, we thought, no, but they were following you. They were reading everything that the political class was doing. It is the political class that missed out on the signs because we refuse to always learn from our history. And I am happy this is happening in my lifetime. I am happy because for all the years we have been on the street, we have prayed for a day like this, that the day the young ones are awoke, as they say on social media, it is goodbye to every structure of the criminality, every structure of violence, every structure of thuggery, every structure of all forms of abuses. Because when the young people take over their power, there will be no stopping them, and there will be no stopping the growth of Nigeria and Nigerians. And this is what we have today. And they can clearly see the organize, you don't even need to do much in organizing yourselves. All you need is this phone. This phone is a weapon of mass and lethal destruction that is destroying the entire structures today that they keep touting about. They have made people so poor, so much so that when you throw little things at them, they come running like chickens, headless chickens. But today, they forgot that when they were pushing these young people to find their means of livelihood, to find their ways, to go through every hardship, they didn't know they were building formidable humans that will clear them out of the way. And now you have become so formidable in your pain, in all that you had to do to build yourselves. You have become a formidable team that can never be wished away anymore. You have taken over the space and you are here to stay. You have brought your tables, you have brought your dining chairs, you have brought your food, you have brought your cutleries, you have brought your wine, you have brought your favorite drinks, whatever those drinks are, and you guys are having a ball on the table of the old order that will be retired by February.
It's this energy, this fire that you always, put out there that made me actually first and foremost fall in love with your person the first time I listened to you. And the way you've also put everything together today just shows that you are an auntie that we should be proud of. That you always lend your voice to everything that concerns the youth is something that you deserve commendation for. You have used some terms that I'm going to first and foremost, coin my first question from. You use the word mass and lethal weapon of destruction. But let me just add this to it. We could actually use those mass and lethal weapon of destruction or make our own construction, because definitely we have to actually destroy all the evil structures that are on ground. But as we move closer to the pole, we also need to also construct, particularly our mindset on how to actually better Nigeria that works for all. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, Baryat, and I know that this definitely is something that resonates with you. At what point in these our struggle did you think Nigerians, or particularly the Nigerian youth, got that political awakening? What triggered the awakening for us to get to the level we are at this particular point in time?
Without even saying too much, the NSAS. I can tell you, NSAS did something to the foundation of this country. The day they opened fire on the young people at Lekki Toll Gate, they murdered sleep. The day they have been doing that and getting away. But the day they murdered youth in broad daylight, young people, the young people that are the future of this country, who were there at Lekki Toll Gate, bearing no arms, but their flags, that we are told once we hear the national anthem, we should stand up and not carry our sticks up, but stand up and stand straight. That was all those young people had the day that happened. Because already NSAS, as one of my friends said when we were having this conversation around NSAS protest, I was like, wow, the number of people that are coming out for this protest, man, this is incredible. I've never seen young people participate in something like this. And she goes, look, Maureen, myself and Aisha, she now said, look, this is a selfish protest. It's a protest of self-preservation because no one is immune from the madness of the Nigerian police. They can just stop you. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter, whether you are a criminal or not. Once they profile you, you become a victim of the police. So it was about self-preservation for everyone. And that was why the young people came out in the numbers that they did. And in those 10 days, amazing, amazing organization. Now, this is what I always tell people. You guys can't do what these young people do. They understand how to get things done. You all only understand how to steal, how to just corrupt the entire system and not put in the hard work. The young people organized themselves, and within 10 days, across Nigeria and across the globe, the world was paying attention. They were getting things done. They had their own security. They were cooking people. There were different levels at which people, brought in their resources and making sure that everybody that was stepping out was getting fed. If you get injured, doctors were on standby. Just imagine what they achieved in 10 days. Then can you imagine when we have this youth at the center of governance, the magic they would recreate? It will be amazing. It will be unbelievable because they're going to bring all of their skill sets. And now the mindsets for me, because when I got to Lagos, the driver that took me to where I was staying, and he's a Yoruba guy. He's been my driver. Anytime I'm in Lagos, I call on him and, he comes wait for me at the airport. And he mentioned this mindset thing. And he goes, Auntie, is a mindset shift that we need. And I said, look, the mindset shift has already happened. We're now doing things that, or they're calling this movement the Obidient movement. Words have strong meanings. Already bearing that title, Obidient, shows that the young people are saying, we can be obedient. We can be, respecters of the rules of law. We can change the game. When I went for the rally, there were people with bean bags, picking up the young people, picking up things that people were, water bottles, this, that. Now, this is the mindset shift. That will not happen in any other rallies. But at that LP rally, people were picking up stuff by themselves, and taking them out, from the areas where, they felt they could go drop them. So there is a mindset shift. And that mindset shift has already happened. That's why people like you are doing this. That's why you're taking time off your busy schedule to do this. That's why people are contributing from their hard-earned resources, be it 1 naira, be it 1,000, be it $5. People are contributing because now there is a mind. How do you think Pio would have gotten all the monies that he's been using to do his campaign? It's because there's been a mindset shift, because people understand now that when we put in our own kind of leader, we can go make demands and be proud of the person we put in there, knowing he can deliver. And once we have that good leadership in place, I tell you, all that it requires. Nigerians are good, we're good at, because of this, the way most of us were brought up, oh, don't challenge, oh, no, don't ask questions, because that is the order of how we were brought up. A lot of us were, we become timid, we become all these things and not being able to stand up and face the so-called elders and stuff. But so you can see that if we had responsible leadership, Nigerians would have just keyed in. That's why Nigerians will believe, the vulnerable ones will believe anything their pastor says. If he says, go take poison today and you will resurrect with Christ on the same day with him, you see them do that. So Nigerians are really just like, just sometimes they don't question their leaders. They just follow. So that mindset shift is why it hasn't happened and why it is taking us too long, even though we've made progress, is because the people we tend to always look up to haven't lived right. But with the obedience that have already called themselves obedient, and with their principle getting into power, I can tell you there will be a sharp shift in the changing of our mindset, because I trust Peter Obi will live up to the expectations of the people. He would act everything. He would live right those things he says, because this is a man who has done it for 8 years. He has conquered greed. He has conquered self. So what else again is he going to go into the villa to get that he hasn't gotten already, or that he hasn't lived already? So it's now going to be about, even with Dirty, they all have it all. These are young men successful in their personal spaces. They didn't need government money to make money. Dirty did not make money from government, neither did Peter Obi. So it's going to be a complete mindset shift. He tells you, oh, he's going to cut down cost of governance. Yes, it starts from there. The minute he does that and begin to live that life that is expected, of, okay, a leader to lead by example, you would truly see that mindset shift in the system.
I wish I could let you go on and on, because listening to you is already, doing something to our minds. And just as you've mentioned, earlier on, I asked about the statement out there, oh, we don't have structure, we don't have the numbers. And you spoke about that, you nailed it, you addressed it. And also we mentioned, touching finances and the power of the people, what we can do with the energy, the mindset shift. Now that brings me to the third question. A lot of Nigerians are still not at work, sadly, even the young people. So what do you have to say to them? How do we transfer this political consciousness down to those ones who are yet to awaken from their sleep? Also, like I said before now, February 25th is just a couple of days away. This is why we do what we do, because all of this we've been doing from the NSARS movement up until this moment is to get us to that point. So it's just a few days away. Now, let's marry the consciousness, first of all, with all of the other challenges we've been able to spot out. One word for Nigerians. Come 25th of February, head into the ballot, victory or not. One word for young Nigerians.
It's victory for us. I've already practiced my dance steps. I told some of my friends yesterday, I really don't know how I'm going to react. I don't know whether I'm just going to run from the beginning of the street to the end of the street. I really don't know how I'm going to react, because for me, I'm just waiting for February 26th or 27th, when the INEC chairman, Professor Yakubu Mahmood, is going to announce Mr. Peter Obi and Senator Detti Baba Ahmed as the president and the vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is either Peter or Obi. Is either Senator Detti Baba or Ahmed. That's exactly how it's going to be. And I want everybody who is going to wake up from 24th, whether you're going to do a night vigil, whether you're going to have all your things ready that you're going to wear to the polls, I want you to know that you're going out there to make a statement. I want you to know that you're going out there to say, I am taking back my country. I want you to know that you're going out there to say there was going to be a new order in Nigeria. I want you to go out there saying to yourself that this will be the beginning of the Nigeria that you have always gone to church to go and pray for. I tell you, all those miracles you're going to go and pray for in church, there's no village witch or village this thing that is chasing you. The people chasing you, the people denying you of your dreams, the people denying you of those opportunities, the people who are making the countries who give you visas or whatever, making it hard for you, is because they know that you have a bad rep. And who are the people representing you? Nigerians like you and I are those who have given us this bad rep. That's why we suffer to get visas. I tell you, make up your mind that on that 25th, the minute as the Senator Detti Baba Ahmed always says, the minute we're announced as the winners of that election, we will stop the killing and start the healing. I tell you, all those times you have got, because how many people go for night vigils in countries that are working? Some churches are even being shut down abroad and they're turning them to pubs, because your answered prayers are all around you. How many people kneel down to pray for power or electricity? How many people kneel down to pray, oh, please, God, grant me a safe journey today as I'm going from Abuja to Kaduna? No, the system is working. You are praying all these prayers because your system is not working and no miracle is going to happen. I always tell people, my Bible says when God came into existence, the first thing he created is light. So God even knew that without light, I cannot work. So the reason why your country is not working is that force that God created to man. The first thing Electricity. You have electricity today, you will create wonders, you will create magic, you will see how things would, just the shift will be a very radical shift. So no village witch is pursuing you. All you need to do, put good governance in place, and I can assure you that you will understand that God has given you the power to do what he has told you. He created you in his image and in his likeness, and he breathed life in you. And he says, go out there. And anything you put your mind to do, you can do. And that's what I'm telling all the young people today. I am charging you all. You have said Peter Obi is your candidate. Go out there, make a loud statement. Dance to your polling unit. Stroll to your polling unit. Strut your shoulders high. Because the end of all the structures of criminalities is coming to an end. And our freedom lies with us by 26th and 27th. Thank you.
Baryat, like I said before now, it's your vivaciousness for me.
Thank you.
You come with so much fire, and that everyone around you just like, oh God, who just spoke now? Thank you so much for being sweet, madam. But I want to get a commitment from you before we go, and I hope you'll give me this commitment. I remember that, my co-host asked you a question about the word you would have for Nigerian youth, and then you said something that would have more like we'll have a ball, in Abuja when Obi has been declared as the winner of that.
Absolutely.
So I would want you to be my bell at the ball. Would that be something? because
I would gladly accept. I would gladly accept. I would gladly accept. Yes. I'll gladly accept. Yes, I look forward to that. Yes. We're going to have a real ball. We're going to tell them who the real owners of Nigerians are. So here's our country. And we're taking it back. We've taken it back already. We're going to be speaking in the affirmative, in the presence. We have taken it back. That's why they are all rambling and trying to create chaos. Stay focused, Obidient. Do not be distracted. We are at that last stage now, that last minute. We're chasing an elephant. Don't let rats distract you. PDAPC are rats where you are right now. You have dominated this space for over a year. You have set, the entire media industry alight with your fire, with your brilliance. They're now like running helter-skelter because they undermined you. In one video that I watched, Dirty, he says, I love to be undermined because when I'm undermined, you're giving me so much space to catch up with you, and then I run past you. And that's what has happened. They went to sleep. They undermined what you all are capable of doing. And you've proven to them your mettle. Thank you all. Thank you all. Stay strong, stay energized until the day of the election. And then we take over the country. The streets will hear loudly from us when we are announced as the winners of this forthcoming election. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You guys rock.
Thank you. A pleasure having you here. It's been amazing this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Best wishes in all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. And have a very beautiful day ahead of you too.
Well, Waju, take home from me. I mean, it's been a pleasure having Maureen Kabrik on the New Deal, as well as everyone who watched. And you heard everything that was said. February 25th is just a couple of days now. All of the NSAS protests, the movement has geared us to this point where the new Nigeria is about to be birthed. We're not going to slow down. We're not going to relent. These are the voices of Nigerians. I'm just basically reiterating. I've seen this all over social media. People are pushed, really. So I, for one, would have to say, well, let's keep it going. We've had it all. We've said it all. It's time for action. So let's deliver.
You heard that already, because even the Bible says that a prayer without faith, without work is actually dead. So please do what has to be done on the 25th of February. Go to the polls, cast the vote, start the process of birthing the Nigeria of our dream. Such an honor to do this with my boo on this platform this morning. And guys, it's the New Deal. Today we discuss something very important, and that is the power of the people. If anybody ever told you that you don't have power, let them know that you really have got great power, and that's what you're going to put in you come 26. My name is Waju, and I'd like to say thanks for coming on the show.
And I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.